Okay, I think I'm going to need to make my pen smaller for this one. So this type of problem comes up a lot. Using a given zero to write a polynomial as a product of linear factors. Sometimes it says linear and quadratic factors. That just means reduce it pretty much as far as you can. Keep simplifying it. So when you get the function f of x equals x to the third subtracted by 3x squared, you can see it all here. Now if negative 3 is a 0, that means I can rewrite this function as x plus 3 times a bunch of other stuff over here. The reason is because if negative 3 is a 0, I should be able to plug negative 3 into this function and get out 0. Same thing with this that I just wrote over here. If you plug negative 3 in for x, negative 3 plus 3 makes 0. 0 times whatever this is going to be 0, right? Because 0 times anything is 0. So if negative 3 is 0, then x plus 3 has to be one of those linear factors they're looking for. So the question is, what's the stuff that goes over here in those dot, dot, dots? And we can find that out by dividing it. We're going to take this polynomial f of x. It's all this stuff. f of x is x to the third minus 3x, blah, blah, blah. And divide it by x plus 3. We're factoring out this x plus 3, okay? You don't necessarily have to write that part out just to show you. We're dividing that polynomial, the f of x, by the linear factor we just found, by x plus 3. And so the quick way of doing that is with synthetic division. Okay, with synthetic division, you put the root of the divisor in a little square up there, and then put the coefficients, so 1 x to the third, and then negative 3 x squared, then negative 14. So the coefficients of the polynomial go next. Give yourself a little space, and then to do the dividing, you just carry down the first number. Negative 3 times 1 makes negative 3, and then you add. So that's different than long division if you've done long division with polynomials. Okay, you just do negative 3 plus negative 3 makes negative 6. And then repeat the process. Do negative 3 times negative 6, that makes 18, and then add. Negative 3 times 4 makes negative 12, and then we add. Okay, so what we have left, it started with a power of 3. So what we have left, since we divide by x to the first, we're going to have 1x squared minus 6x plus 4. Okay, so we've reduced it. It's gotten smaller. We took the function. It was x to the third minus 3x squared minus 14x, and we rewrote it as x plus 3, parentheses, x squared minus 6x, etc. So now we got to try to factor it again, because they said linear factors. This is a quadratic factor. So you got to try to find something that you can divide, that you can put into this to make it equal 0. They gave us a gimme. They gave us that negative 3 was a 0. Now we got to try to find the other zeros. And if you remember from a previous algebra course, the quadratic formula can give us the zeros of a quadratic equation, or in this case a quadratic expression. What can we do to make this equal 0? So we can plug in negative 6, because that's our b. Now negative 6 squared is going to be 36, minus 4 times our a, which is a 1, times our c, which is a 4, divided by 2 times our a. And then if you simplify, so 36 subtracted by 16 gives us 20. And then if you simplify that a little bit, if you remember studying radicals, the square root of 20, that's the same thing as the square root of 5 times the square root of 4. And I did that because I know what the square root of 4 is. Okay, so look at a radical and see how you can simplify it. Square root of 20 is the same thing as square root of 5 times square root of 4, because the square root of 4 no longer needs a radical. The square root of 4 is 2. So that's how you'd simplify. That's what I'm going to do next here, okay? I'm going to rewrite that square root of 20 in there as 2 square roots of 5. And then we can simplify a little bit more because everything's being divided by 2. So we got 3 plus or minus square root of 5. So one of our zeros is negative 3. The other two zeros have to be x plus square root of 5. And then x, 3 plus square root of 5. And 3 minus square root of 5. So here's how we write our final answer. We have the x plus 3. The next linear factor is x minus 3 plus square root of 5. And then we got x minus the 3 minus square root of 5. And I'm putting it in parentheses because we've got to distribute that negative sign. Whole bunch of little things coming at us there, right? Got to distribute the negative sign, got to make sure to simplify the radical. That's that's the tough part about math. That's why everyone always says that you just got to stick with it day after day to keep those little rules in mind. I think Alex would accept this. If it doesn't, you'll just want to distribute the negative sign, but I'll type it in here. That way, where's my square root button, Alex? There it is. Square root of 5, and then let's see if it does it. X minus, oh, no, too many parentheses. Okay, that's the second parentheses, and the third one I wrote, x minus 3 minus square root of 5. Okay, it likes it. So you could simplify, but it's okay with that answer. Oh, that's not what I want.